What's up, guys? It's your boy LAJ back at it again with another video, and this is huge and exciting given the fact that the Dodgers just won their 7th consecutive National League West Division Championship. But that's not all. According to this, they also won the National League East. So congratulations on being the first team ever to win 2 divisions on the same day on different sides of the United States. huge ass fail. But on the real though, how professional was it that they casually walked onto the field to celebrate as expected? They went up there so professionally, so casual, shook hands, a couple of laughs, a couple of celebrations, and then they, put on the shirts. There was no huge run on the field. There was no huge excitement.
And a subdued celebration like you would expect of a team whose goals are much larger.
The exuberance will start when they get in the locker room and they're all together. They know what they've accomplished, but they also know what is in front of them.
It's like they've gone through this so many times. Obviously 7 times. But there's a lot of players that haven't been, close to this or never experienced a postseason, yet they still, maintain poise. So how about we look at the last 6 clinching West Division championships?
High fly ball into left center, playable. They have finally done it. The Dodgers are the National League West champions. First time they've had a playoff berth since 2009. And there it is. The Dodgers have won the National League Western Division title.
For the 3rd consecutive season, National League Western Division champions.
Charlie Culberson, a walk-off home run. And the Dodgers have clinched the division and will celebrate on schedule.
And they have done it again. The Los Angeles Dodgers, for the 5th consecutive years, are the champions of the National League Western Division.
Swung on and missed, strike 3. Jansen strikes out Cora. And for the 6th consecutive season, the Dodgers are the best in the West.
That's it. A knockout in 19. A 7th consecutive division title for the Dodgers.
Personally, I love when the Dodgers celebrate winning the division. I love winning the pennant, and I also expect them to celebrate even bigger winning the World Series. I'm not so much of a fan celebrating, hardcore with champagne advancing from the division series. I would only celebrate winning the division, the actual division, the pennant, and the actual World Series. That's just me personally, though. And this is great timing for the Dodgers, given the fact that right now, I would say they're kind of a little bit of in a slump, especially Will Smith and Cody Bellinger. And given the fact that they just came out from this previous week, losing 2 of 3 to the Giants and 3 of 4 from Arizona. Also, the Atlanta Braves were hot on their tail and kind of gained ground for the National League and also home field advantage throughout postseason. And also the Yankees and Astros are tied for best record in Major League Baseball and obviously for home field advantage throughout the postseason. So speaking of the Braves, the Dodgers are halfway through Atlanta's record-setting 14 consecutive winning the division. So a brief history on that, and I will explain why I'm bringing them up, is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. This is just not necessarily a theory, but this is just a thought that I've been having for a couple of years already. So the Dodgers do have 7 consecutive, and the Braves had 14. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because there's some similarities that I see within them. In 1991, the Braves were part of the National League West, and they did overcome a 39-40 start by winning their final 55 of 83 games to edge the Dodgers by 1 game. They later advanced to the World Series where they were inevitably beat, but also they ended up losing back-to-back World Series in 91 and 92. They went on to lose back-to-back World Series in 91 and 92 before breaking out and winning in 95. Atlanta reached the World Series 5 times and won 1 championship. That's 1 in 14 attempts. Honestly, I personally consider that a fail, especially considering the fact that they had Chipper Jones, Glavine, Maddox, and Smoltz, just to name a few, and they only came up with 1 championship. Much like the 91 Braves, where they overcame a huge deficit and eventually made it to a World Series, the Dodgers in 2013, as their first title run, they ended up, obviously we saw and we remember what happened. They ended up overcoming a huge deficit. I think they were in last place at one point, and they were one broken rib shot away from obviously going into the World Series. I can't definitely say with certainty they were going to win the World Series, but they definitely had the momentum and everything going right for them. And so far, we've seen the Dodgers already lose consecutive back-to-back World Series championships to Houston and Boston. So I see that also as a similarity. The only difference is they're a little bit behind, where the Braves won their championship after the 4th year. However, I will say this though, the Dodgers do have an extremely talented farm system, where you see the 2016 class being called up this year and being part of this run and implementing their success immediately, like Will Smith, Tony Gonsolin, to name a few. So I do see a better future for the Dodgers moving forward, and I can definitely say with certainty wins of championships for the Dodgers moving forward, especially given the talent that they currently have. And the reason behind that is also the fact that when they bring in this new talent, they're gaining all this experience and exposure to the brightest of lights at the biggest of pressures, and they're actually going to experience the greatness. And if you see Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger, they learn, they develop, they adapt, and they eventually perform to what they need to. So this year is going to be something huge and something big, if they include Will Smith, if they include let's say a Tony Gonsolin. So this is going to be huge moving forward. And we've seen what Walker Buehler has done. No pressure could kill that guy, and he's like performing extremely well. Speaking of Buehler, he's now been part of the 2 clinching championship these past 2 years, game 163 and yesterday's game. And as of right now, it appears the Dodgers are going to be facing the Nationals and the Braves in the postseason to get to the World Series before whoever comes out of there. And both of those teams look pretty good. They're on a huge tear, and they're looking to dethrone the Dodgers. But I am a firm believer in chemistry and momentum. And after yesterday, if you look back at the celebration before they started popping bottles, Dave Roberts was adamant that no one celebrate until they got Max Muncy and Alex Verdugo on FaceTime, and later on quoted, "No man left behind." So that is great chemistry and just a good feel for the Dodgers. I feel this is going to be a push towards the momentum that they need, and it's going to switch over to them. So I definitely feel great for the Dodgers moving forward. Also, given the fact that their schedule is pretty simple now moving forward as well, I can definitely see the Dodgers gaining not only best home field advantage in the National League, but also throughout postseason if that schedule remains to be performed the way it's supposed to, which is them dominating everybody. I would definitely like to see them go into the postseason hot and ready to kill it, because this year it feels like it. I don't know why it feels like they're better this year than they were in 2017, and if that is the fact, then maybe this is the year. And Tommy Lasorda, you could tell right away he was excited as well. He feels something with his team. I know we all felt it in 2017, but this year in 2019 feels so much better. So with that being said, are you guys excited for the postseason? What do you guys think the Dodgers' record is going to be at the end of the regular season? And if so, what team right now in the National League has potentially the best position to beat the Dodgers or dethrone them in the National League? And in the World Series, what do you expect them to face off with, or who to face off with? I'm LAJ, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.